blown away, wouldn't look good. The idea that they just scored goals against the Burnleys of this world and it meant nothing in the reality of football, I said was wrong. This isn't me claiming to have been right. This is me claiming I actually was wrong. Chelsea were beyond as good as I thought they would be. They performed to a level that I didn't expect them to be at yet. And there is still so much more to come from this Chelsea team. As I've been telling you for a while, don't write the club off. Don't start looking at the club like it's Luton or Leeds or some next team, next club. Nottingham Forest 2.0. They will be back. And tonight was almost a foreshadowing of the Chelsea of the future. Their defensive shape was impeccable and impenetrable. It was the strongest form of contraception ever invented by man. Arsenal lost the midfield battle. Caicedo, Enzo, Gallagher. By the way, Alex can't come on the show tonight. He's got family. But he said it would dominate, and he was absolutely spot on. Possession-wise, Arsenal had more of it. But dominating territories on the pitch that are critical, 110%, that battle was won by Chelsea. They were dangerous. They created chances. They created good openings. And I felt they were value for their lead. We're going to get into the penalty. We're going to get into everything else. But they were 2-0 up. And look, they got a penalty for the first goal. The second goal had an element of fortune to it. First of all, I thought it was a screamer. And then I rewatched it. And you see, he doesn't look. He mishits across. Raya, doing his best Onana impression, lets that goal in. But I did feel that Chelsea were value for that 2-0 lead. And as I say, up until that 75th minute, Chelsea were the best I have seen them in probably 18 months. And this is against Arsenal. All banter aside, Arsenal are a top team. They lost the midfield battle. They barely could break the lines. To a man for 75 minutes. Gusto had Martinelli in his pocket. Cucurella was back to his Brighton days. Absolutely fantastic. Thiago Silva at the back, 38, 39 years of age. The man's pushing 40. And he was towing his team along. The midfield battle we've already discussed. Caicedo and Enzo together. By the way, you got Lavia to come into this side as well. And Kunku to come in for Gallagher in the future. Be afraid of what's coming at Chelsea. 110%. 110%. And up front, they were dangerous. What they did, Cole Palmer. What a display from him. What a display from Cole Palmer. The way he was dropping off Gabriel and Saliba, they didn't know what to do. He confused them. Scored his penalty, nearly scored a second. He was running the show. Running the show. It was majestic for 75 minutes. And then a mistake. A big mistake from Sanchez. Declan Rice scores a good goal, but from a massive mistake. 9 minutes later, brilliant football. Kai Havertz, Saka, a majestic, a wonderful, a beautiful cross from that man's left foot. And bang, Trossard, by the way, who came on in the 78th minute, I cannot believe for the life of me. One, why Partey didn't come on at halftime is crazy to me. Trossard should have come on much sooner. Poor management in that regard from Mikel Arteta, but it was 2-2. And Arsenal will look at this. Sorry, Chelsea will look at this as, how did we not win? You didn't lose. This might remind Chelsea of how I felt 2 weeks ago when we lost to Galatasaray. Almost, how did that happen? We dominated. We had the majority of the chances. We were leading. How have we ended up on the side that hasn't won? Chelsea fans, I know it's going to be hard to do, but you can take so much pride and happiness out of this draw, knowing what's coming as this team develops. Look how good you were for large parts defensively. You know you need a better goalkeeper moving forward as an example. You know you need a prolific number 9. That will come. Your owners are going to spend. But Chelsea have the foundations for a team that is coming back to the big time. It is as simple and as straightforward as that. Now, some might turn around and say, so I've seen a few people saying this on Poch. Yeah, look, maybe he shouldn't have taken off Mykhailo Mudryk, but in fairness, Jackson should have gone in and scored. He should have been 3-0. He should have hit that ball first time. He didn't. He gave Raya a chance. But from Arsenal's perspective, listen, Arsenal fans will be frustrated at that performance. And I understand why. However, and there's a massive however here, I'm going to be blunt with you. There's no need for arrogance today from Arsenal. Do you know why you weren't very good? Because Chelsea stopped you. Yes, I think Trossard and Partey should have come on earlier. You can look at that as an example. I don't really know why Jorginho started the game. Maybe Partey still isn't fully fit. There's areas you can question. But the reason that Arsenal were not able to play their game, the reason that Arsenal were not able to be at their best tonight is nothing to do with them being a flop or them being a bad team. I don't even think it was a bad day in the office per se. Chelsea were class on the grass. That is what they were. That is it for me. Again, Chelsea fans probably won't agree with that. Arsenal fans probably won't agree with it all because Chelsea fans will be gutted. Arsenal fans want a better performance. Chelsea just stopped Arsenal for 75 minutes. The last 15 to 20 minutes of the game, you saw Arsenal be Arsenal. When they scored 2 goals, they nearly won the football match. You saw a little bit of the old Chelsea before Poch creep in as they become a bit nervous. And it's going to take time to build that resilience. But Arsenal can look at this situation and know they can come back from dire situations. There is positivity to be taken out of this from an Arsenal point of view. Not the performance, but you're not always going to be able to perform. The reason today is going to feel like a shock is too many Arsenal fans wrote off the idea that Chelsea could deliver this type of performance. Too many said no chance. Igal's words were, if Chelsea beat Arsenal, it's a bigger shock than Sheffield United beating Man United. It was a nonsense. There's a comment that came through earlier, and I want to read this out. It's from Remy that says, Terry, what happened to your prediction that Arsenal would smash Chelsea? Well, Remy, that tells me that you did not watch the video. That tells me you're lying. I said a narrow win by Arsenal 2-1. So in terms of the score, I was 1 goal off. I was very close to being accurate. But if you listen to what I said Chelsea wouldn't be smashed. I said Chelsea wouldn't embarrass themselves. I said Arsenal wouldn't run through them. I said I think Arsenal are still clear. And Chelsea are not quite ready yet. And Chelsea are not quite ready yet. That's why they didn't see the game through. But Chelsea surpassed my expectations. But I think the reason why tonight will hurt Arsenal fans the most is because there has been a weird narrative created that Chelsea are done, Chelsea are finished, Chelsea are over the hill, they're never coming back as a club. If you've watched their games this season, this was plausible. I didn't think they'd be this good. But it was plausible. This is a good result in the end for Arsenal. It's a game that isn't going to damage their season. But Chelsea have shown the world tonight that they are not to be written off. They are not to be spoken about like a mid-table team because they are serious. And there'll be a bittersweet element. Chelsea fans will be happy with the performance and not the result. Arsenal fans will be okay with the result in the end, but not the performance. But there is a happy medium here. It was 2 very good teams. And Chelsea will prove themselves this season, believe you me, to be a very good team. A very good team. Arsenal weren't overly crap tonight. Chelsea were brilliant. Arsenal forced the collapse, the bottle from Chelsea because they are a really good team and it got into the home straight and Chelsea are just not quite ready yet. That's the truth. That's the facts. What people like Lee Gunner, what people like Igal said during the week, Chelsea are nothing, we're going to brush them aside, was just wrong. So if you're living in that world, which is incorrect, you're going to be overtly disappointed. But for me, as a neutral, this was nothing short of a fantastic, energizing, pulsating football match to watch. It really, really was.